Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It has been a ridiculously long week, and honestly, my brain is completely fried from staring at these screeners all day long. But we really need to talk about Thursday's General Hospital because wow, just wow. I am running on iced coffee and pure adrenaline right now, so forgive me if I ramble a bit. But there is so much to unpack here. So let's just dive right into the absolute mess that is Portia Robinson right now. On Thursday, May 28th, we are going to see Portia meeting up with Tracy Quartermaine and Brooke Lynn Quartermaine. And it is going to be incredibly awkward. And you know, Portia, she is not exactly the type to just casually ask for favors unless she's absolutely desperate. But she is desperate. She is going to admit that there might be something the Quartermaines could actually help her with. And let's be real, the Quartermaine family has more money and influence than basically anyone else in Port Charles, except maybe Sunny, but Portia is definitely not going to Sunny for medical favors. Portia needs their help to find and lock in a new surgeon for Derek because right now, Derek is in a life or death situation. He needs a liver transplant. And the guy who is supposed to do it, Isaiah Gannon, is currently dealing with a completely destroyed hand. And whose fault is that Curtis Ashford? So yeah, Portia is swallowing her pride and going to the queues. And this is where Brooke Lynn comes in. And honestly, I feel so bad for her, but also I kind of want to shake her. Brooke Lynn is going to hear that Isaiah absolutely cannot perform Derek's liver transplant. She is going to hear that Derek could literally die unless someone with the exact right qualifications is brought into the hospital as soon as possible. Between hearing that and knowing that Isaiah might never, ever be able to perform surgery again in his entire life, Brooke Lynn is going to feel terrible, like soul-crushing guilt. Because remember why this whole fight happened in the first place. Curtis wrongfully accused Isaiah of being the driver who fled the scene of the accident. And who was actually the driver? Yeah, Brooke Lynn. Or at least, that is exactly what the show is heavily implying right now. So Brooke Lynn is just sitting there, listening to Portia panic about Derek dying and Isaiah's ruined career, knowing that her own secret is the root cause of all this destruction. But then we have Tracy Quartermaine. Good old Tracy. She is going to struggle so hard to keep guilty Brooke Lynn's mouth shut. Tracy is in full-on protection mode. And you guys know how Tracy gets when she is protecting the family name. She does not care about Isaiah's hand or Derek's liver. She only cares about making sure Brooke Lynn does not confess and ruin her chances of adopting Phoebe. Tracy is probably going to be whispering fiercely in Brooke Lynn's ear, telling her to just smile and nod and offer to write a check. But Brooke Lynn is a mess. She has a conscience, which is sometimes a real liability in this family. I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh on Tracy. She does love her granddaughter, but covering up a hit and run is a massive crime. And Tracy thinks she has it all perfectly hidden. She thinks she scrubbed the evidence. But she is forgetting one major factor. That factor is Michael Corinthos. So Thursday's episode is going to show Michael hearing some major alarm bells go off in his head. Curtis is going to be talking to Michael, and Curtis is going to admit that if things go sideways, he could be in serious legal trouble, like prison time. ADA Justine Turner just informed Curtis that he is officially being charged with felony, assault, and battery. Justine is actually moving forward with this, which is wild because Jordan thought Justine wouldn't betray her like that. But Justine is actually doing her job for once. So Curtis is freaking out, and he is telling Michael all about the fight and how it all started because of the hit-and-run driver who left paint on the guardrail. And this is when the gears in Michael's head are going to start turning. You can practically see the light bulb go off. Michael is going to develop some serious suspicions on Thursday's show. And it all ties in perfectly with the timing of Tracy supposedly having her car detailed along with Brooke Lynn's car. Think about it. Brooke Lynn presumably drives a black BMW, which is exactly the type of car that left black paint on that guardrail during the accident. Michael is putting two and two together. He knows Tracy. He knows how she operates. He is going to start to suspect that Brooke Lynn was the actual driver who fled the scene, and that Tracy helped cover it up by rushing to get those cars detailed to hide the damage and the missing paint. And honestly, Michael is pretty smart when he isn't entirely consumed by his own drama. He is going to figure this out. But what is he going to do with this information? Is he going to use it against them? He already warned Brooke Lynn not to trust Chase, so maybe he uses this to manipulate her. Speaking of Michael's own drama, I have to take a quick detour to point out the absolute hypocrisy here. Michael is currently paying a private investigator, Elaine, to snap photos of Chase and Willow looking cozy so he can set up a fake cheating scandal. He is literally trying to ruin his own wife's reputation to get what he wants. But he is going to sit there and judge Brooklyn for a panic-induced hit and run. Okay? That sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. Michael's playing detective while his own house is completely made of glass. But anyway, back to the Curtis situation. Curtis is in deep, deep trouble. A felony assault charge is no joke. He could actually go to prison for this. He punched Isaiah. Isaiah fell, and now Isaiah's career as a surgeon is basically over. And Curtis did it all based on a completely false accusation that Brooklyn is responsible for. And because of all this Curtis drama, Portia is going to get really pushy with him. There is going to be so much tension between them. Blame is just going to be tossed around left and right over this altercation with Isaiah. Portia is terrified for Derek. She is furious that Isaiah's career is ruined. And she is taking it all out on Curtis. And Curtis is probably going to get defensive because that is what he does. He is going to insist that Isaiah baited him and wanted to fight. But Portia is not going to want to hear it. She is looking at the reality of the situation. Her husband might go to jail, and her colleague's life is ruined. It is a massive mess. And right in the middle of this mess is Trina Robinson, who just cannot seem to catch a single break on this show, ever. Trina is going to be leaning heavily on Giovanni Gio Palmieri for support. Trina is stressed about her mom's baby shower. She is stressed about Curtis going to prison. She is stressed about Isaiah. She is just overwhelmed. And Gio is going to be there for her, which is sweet. Gio is dealing with his own guilt over Rocco running away with Britt. So maybe they can just trauma bond over how chaotic their lives are right now. Trina is also about to get some really difficult info from Kai Taylor soon. So she needs all the support she can get. I really hope the writers give Trina a moment to just breathe, because it feels like they just pile tragedy after tragedy onto her shoulders. But knowing this show, things are only going to get worse for her before they get better. Okay. Let's pivot for a second, because there is a completely random spoiler about Molly Lansing Davis and Cody Bell. Apparently they are going to have a surprise interruption coming up. I honestly don't even know what to make of this. Molly and Cody are spending time together, and someone is going to derail their time. Who could it be? Maybe Christina. Christina just got accepted to medical school, and she is already warning Molly about bad ideas. So maybe Christina barges in and ruins the mood. Or maybe it's Mac or someone else. It feels like a really weird pairing to focus on right now with everything else exploding in Port Charles. But sometimes the writers just throw these little scenes in to pace the episode. We will have to wait and see who actually interrupts them. But I am not holding my breath for it to be anything earth-shattering. Now, let's get to the absolute craziest part of the episode. Willow and Drew Kane. Oh my god, you guys. Willow is completely losing her mind. At Willow and Drew's house, she's going to tell a completely locked-in, paralyzed Drew that she is working on something that could free them both. She is literally talking to a man who cannot move or speak, promising him that she is going to fix this. Willow is desperately hoping to score the leverage she needs to keep Drew quiet and stop dosing him with the paralytic medication. She wants to blackmail Jen Sidwell. She's going to once again pressure Sidwell to find some dirt so they can end Drew's injections. The delusion here is just staggering. What makes Willow think she can outsmart an international criminal like Jen Sidwell? And of course, Sidwell is going to shut that idea down immediately. He already told her no, and he is going to remind Willow of that soon enough. He is going to laugh in her face. Even if Sidwell actually wanted to stop dosing Drew, which he doesn't, there is absolutely no way Ross Cullum would approve of it. Cullum wants Drew neutralized. So Sidwell is going to look at Willow and basically tell her she is an idiot for even asking, but then Sidwell's going to take it a step further. He has hinted about just killing Drew before, and he might alarm Willow if he repeats that as a totally viable option on Thursday. He might just say, hey, if you are so tired of injecting him, we can just put a bullet in his head and be done with it. And that is going to horrify Willow. That could definitely be one of the reasons for Willow's upcoming horror on Thursday's GH episode. She is going to realize that she is trapped. She cannot stop dosing Drew without Sidwell and Cullum killing him. But she cannot keep doing this forever without losing her soul. But wait, there is more. Willow could also find out what Nina Reeves did. Or rather, what Nina didn't do. Willow is going to find out that Nina decided not to give Jack Brennan another injection. And Willow is going to totally flip out. She's going to lose it. Willow is going to scream at Nina, asking her what she was thinking. Nina is going to try to pitch her new plan, saying they can work with Brennan to take down Cullum and Sidwell. But Willow is just going to see it as a massive betrayal and a huge risk. Regardless of how it plays out, all the behind-the-scenes info suggests that Willow absolutely will not get her wish on stopping Drew's doses just yet. The writers are going to drag this out. Willow will have to keep dealing with this incredibly dark, twisted, locked-in Drew situation for the foreseeable future. And now, she also has to deal with the new Brennan jam that Nina has created. Nina is playing with fire by waking Brennan up and trying to partner with him. Brennan might be charming, and yeah, maybe they are brewing a little surprise romance, but he is dangerous, and Willow knows that. So Willow is stuck between a paralyzed Drew, a scheming Nina, a dangerous Brennan, and a lethal Jen Sidwell. It is a nightmare of her own making, and honestly, I'm here for the drama. Finally, let's talk about that phone call. Jen Sidwell is going to deliver a very strict order over the phone. He is going to say, find her and bring her back now. Who is he talking to, and who is he talking about? Well, it sounds like Sidwell might be pushing Cassius Faison, aka our favorite fake Nathan West, to track down Britt Westbourne and fix this massive mess. Britt is currently on the run with Rocco Falconeri. Rocco sent that video message saying it was his choice, but Britt is still a fugitive with a minor. And Sidwell needs Britt back for whatever twisted plans he has. Cassius already has so much drama going on. He just got ambushed by Jocelyn Jacks with Anna Devane's makeshift weapons in that Windermere cell. And now he has a new boss yelling at him to go hunt down Britt. General Hospital spoilers say Cassius has much more drama ahead of him, so we definitely need to stay tuned for that. Will he actually be able to track Britt down before the FBI, or Dante and Lulu find her? Sonny is already offering to eliminate Cullum to protect Rocco, so the stakes are incredibly high. Everyone is looking for Britt and Rocco, and Cassius is stuck right in the middle of it, trying to appease Sidwell while dealing with a very angry, chair-swinging Jocelyn. It is going to be an explosive few weeks in Port Charles, and I honestly don't know how any of these characters are going to survive it. But I'll be here chugging my coffee and recapping every single crazy moment for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think Michael will actually turn Brooklyn in? Because I honestly have no idea what the writers are planning next.